What's up, guys? It's Evan Moran coming at you with a deck profile. It's another Madolche deck profile. Since the ban list came around, I did change around my deck a little bit. I actually did go to regionals at the beginning of this month in Rosemont, Illinois, and I went 5-4 with this deck. Some changes have been made since the event, but I will explain some of the changes that I made and why I made them as well, and the reasonings behind why I put some of these new cards in. It's a lot different than the other build that I showed you on my other video, but I do believe this deck has a lot of potential, and I don't believe I showed you guys a proper side deck the last time I profiled the deck. So this time I actually do have a proper side deck. I have full 15 cards and everything, and yeah, let's get down to it. And let me guys know in the comments if you like the deck profiles like this more, where you can see my face and everything. And I'm not trying to copy Waffles or anything with this this hat or anything. It's just cold outside, and I like the Bulls. So yeah, that's it. First we got 3 Madolines. She's pretty much one of the best cards in the deck. Then we've got 3 Mews. He's just a combo piece. He gets a lot of your plays going, so he's always really good. Then another playmaker in the deck is 3 Gelato. He's just amazing with Mew and everything. He makes all of your combos work. He's the reason why you run Invoker. And then we have 3 Croissants. I sided out one of these Croissants a lot. I found that at 3 it wasn't necessary against a lot of mashups, and I just needed some space for my side deck cards. And then I have 1 Madolche Butler-esque. I continue to use him because I like having the assurance that if I open Ultimate Offering, I can OTK them. So not having this when I open Ultimate Offering is just, it's not fun. But I do side him out a lot as well, because there's only a 4% chance that I'm going to open Ultimate Offering, so I don't want to take that chance. And then the new card that, it used to be Max C. It was Max C when I played in the event, but now it is 2 Drunk Forwards. What he does is he's a level 3 warrior earth type, and if you control no monsters, you can special summon him from your hand. What you do is you special summon him, the normal Mew, the special Gelato. Now that sets you up for an Invoker play, which then lets you summon another Gelato from your deck, which then lets you make Tiramisu right there with a Chateau on board. So he's really good. A lot of people prefer to run TG Warwolf, but I just don't think that's the right card, because TG Warwolf is only good with the Mew Gelato combo, whereas Junk Forward can be used if you don't have the combo yet. Like, say you open Warwolf and Mew, what are you gonna do? Like, there's no plays you can do with just Mew and Warwolf. But let's say you have Junk Forward and Mew. You can special summon Junk Forward, then normal Mew, make Zen Mains, Leviathan, Mozarhythm, Temtempo, just any of those. It's just a more solid card than TG Warwolf, I believe. So everyone else that I saw playing Madolches at the event was playing TG, was playing the TG variant with Striker and Warwolf, but they didn't actually do as well as me. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I went 5-4. If I won my last match against Mermails, then I would have gotten my invite, so I was a bit salty about that. He was running the Undyne Mermails, so he was being at least a little bit fair. So, yeah, that's all the monsters. And then let's get onto the spells. We've got 3 Chateau. You still run 3 Chateau. It's such a good card. When your Madolches die, they go back to the hand. Tiramisu makes you go +4 when you use her effect. So Chateau is just way too good. And what I did a few times is I've summoned Mageline against decks that have Thunder King on board, and then with Chateau on the field, I could just crash into their Thunder King. And I actually did that against Doppelplants. Which I ended up winning against. He had a Thunder King on board, and I had Mageline. I had Chateau and Ticket, and I summoned Mageline, and he Veilered without even me saying I activate the effect. And I'm like, okay, Thunder King negates it anyway. And he's like, ah, dang. But then I just crashed into the Thunder King, killing it, and then I got then Mageline bounced back to the hand, and I got my search with Ticket. So Chateau is just an amazing card. Then we've got, let's see if I can pick it up. Got 2 Ticket. Ticket's just an amazing card. It's like Wind Up Factory, although I don't like comparing it to Wind Up Factory because windups. But I only run 2 Ticket. Like I've said before, you don't need 3. If it clogs if you have more than 1, because their effects don't stack if you have both of them on the field. If they did, then I would run 3, but they don't stack if you have both of them if you have 2 on board. So 2 is really necessary, and if you do need it, then you can just search for it. And then I've got 2 Pot of Dualities. I'm just holding it wrong there. Sorry, it's hard doing this deck profile like this. 2 Pot of Dualities. It just increases consistency. There's a lot of good normal summons that you have in this deck. You have Croissant, you have Mageline. It lets you get your pieces together. It's really good. And then you've got 2 Mystical Space Typhoons, 1 Dark Hole. I don't run Reborn. It's not necessary at all. I used to run Reborn so I could like Reborn their Veilers or something and make XYZs, but it's just really not necessary. And then 1 Rhoda to search for the Junk Forward as well as Gelato if I do need Gelato. And then I still run this card, Soul Taker. This is just a really good card. I really love teching this in here. I just believe it's a solid card all around. There's really no downside to it. I don't care if you gain 1,000 life points. I'm still going to kill you regardless. So it's just an amazing card. And for the traps, I have changed the trap lineup since the event a little bit, I think. Nope, the trap lineup has stayed the same. We've got 1 Warning because Warning's at 1 now and I'm sad. But now that Warning is at 1, it makes me realize how powerful it really was. Like, if I duality into Warning, I'm like, oh, I'm taking that because it's just so good. It's such a good card, and I didn't appreciate it as much when I was at 2. I really wish I did. And then 2 Deep Prisons, still run it. 2 Fiendish Chains, still run this. I sided this out a lot against certain matchups. I forget what I sided out against. Geez, I don't know. Oh, I sided it out against Blackwings. I sided in some Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors because Fiendish Chain didn't really... Plus, having Fiendish Chain and the Shadow Imprisoning Mirror would kind of just be, like, dead together, so I sided them out. And then 2 Bottomless Trap Holes. I realized with Warning going to 1, I don't have any summon stoppers, so I had to add in 2 Bottomless so that I can make sure that their plays don't go through. 1 Compulsory. I guess this was my replacement for Warning. It's just a really good card. Windups aren't as prevalent anymore. I can use this against my own monsters and get the ticket effects, and it's just a really good card. It's so versatile, so I like to use it. And then some more techs. I just have 1 Torrential. I don't believe 2 is necessary. I only need to clear their board once for me to be able to push in for game or do some damage. 1 Torrential is really necessary. And 1 Threatening Roar. I really like this card. I used to run 2, but now I just run 1. I would like to have room for more, because summoning Mageline, searching for Butler-esque, and then setting Threatening Roar is a really good play that I actually did a good amount of times at the event. Threatening Roar is just an amazing card. It's just so good. So I like to be able to use it. And then we've got Ultimate Offering, because it OTKs for days. Should be banned. Then 1 Huge Revo. I don't run Starlight Road because I found that Stardust was clogging up extra deck space that I needed, as well as Garunix was a card, and I didn't want to get owned by Fire Kings, so I decided to use Huge Revo. And also, at the beginning of the format, people like to run Glad Beasts, I have found, so I wanted to be able to use this against Gyzarus, because if you stop their Gyzarus, they pretty much lose, and you only have 1 Warning now, so you need to be able to stop that Gyzarus. This stops High on Lane as well, because if they have Starlight, if you Starlight Road their Gyzarus or Starlight Road the High on Lane, they can lance it and stop the destruction and everything, and then that just ruins you completely. So I like to be able to have Huge Revo. And then for my last trap, Madolche Palooza, I did OTK a guy with this. It was so funny. I opened with Palooza, Mageline, Cruff. No, I opened Mageline, Double Cruff, and Gelato, and this card. So I just summoned Mageline, searched for a Mew, no, searched for a Gelato, and then I set this card, and then I set Palooza, and then next turn I just went off, like I just blew up in his face. And I forgot I was playing against, actually. Oh, it's Dragunities. I OTK Dragunities, so I gave him a taste of his own medicine. So yeah, that is the main deck. Let's get to the extra deck now. Extra deck has changed a good amount. I still do run 2 Tiaras, because it's why I run this deck. It's why the deck is anywhere near competitive, because Pudding Cess is just bad. It's just bad. It's really just bad. And then 1 Direwolf. I really like this card. I replaced Fairy King with this, because I ran Fairy King because you could use him for the Ultimate Offering OTK, but you can use Direwolf too, but it just requires 5,000 life points instead of 4,000. But Direwolf is just a solid card anyway. You run beast types in the deck, so that's good to have. I did have this at the event. It was really cool. And then Shockmaster, because you can make it. Roach, because you can make it, and if you make it against Chaos Dragons, you win, which I found out when I played against Chaos Dragons, and I made this, and then I proceeded to win from there. He summoned Card Trooper, milled 3, tried to crash into it, and I deprisoned it, and he scooped. And then one Cowboy, because this little burn effect wins games. I never really use his attack position effect, like, ever. If I'm going to make a rank 4, I'm going for Tiara. Like, that's pretty much how I'm doing it. And Utopia, I don't think I ever summoned this during the event, but it's still a really good card, despite what some people say. My Stroke, I did use this against Machinas, which I still did lose against. He had a Gear Gigant with a Gear Frame equipped. I made this, flipped his Gigant down, Gear Frame fell off, and then it just attacked over it. Then I have Tempo, because it's just amazing. Like, use it on a Gachi, or use it on a Zen Mains, use it on anything, really, and it just messes them up so bad. And he gains a ton of attack boost. And then Muzaridhim, the String Dijin. You guys probably don't know what Muzaridhim does. He's not really used very much, but what he does is he's got 1,500 attack, and he's just a generic rank 3. And during the damage step in which a Dijin monster attacks, you can detach material. That monster's attack is doubled, so he becomes a 3,000 attacker. And I believe Muzaridhim is better than Acid Golem, because Acid Golem, I just don't like his other effects. 3,000 attack is good, but I prefer Muzaridhim. This actually won me my game against Chaos Dragons. He had a Scrap Dragon with nothing else on board and nothing in his hand. He popped his own Ravine to kill one of my cards, which was a big mistake. And then I just made Muzaridhim and attacked over the Scrap Dragon, and he couldn't do anything. Then I've got one Leviair. I did OTK the Blackwings with this because he bottomless my Gelato, and then I was able to get Gelato back with this, and then just do some more crazy stuff. Then Zen Mains, it's just a great card. Leviathan Dragon, I did make this a couple times. It's just an amazing card. Amazing rank 3. And then new edition, I've got 2 Invokers. One of these was a Soul of Silver Mountain because I did not have the other copy. It was on the way in the mail. But one copy did its job, but I still think 2 is necessary, especially when Hoot comes out, and especially because I run junk forwards as well. So that is the extra deck. Let's get to the side deck. This is the side deck that I used for event, except for 2 cards that I have changed around. First, we've got 2 Fossil Dinos. You side Fossil Dino against everything. I'm pretty sure I sided Fossil Dino against everything. I sided against Blackwings because I didn't want to have to deal with Armor Master. I sided against Mermails because they special summon so much. I sided it against Doppelplants because it's Doppelplants. I sided it against Dragoonides, which actually he had 5 monster zones occupied with just dragons and everything, like a Tum and all of that stuff. And then I just had a set Fossil Dino, which he attacked into, flipped it up, and board wiped him. So that was really cool. Then I got 2 DD Crows. I did side this against Doppelplants. He tried to call his tour guide back when I was about to go for game, and I'm like, target? And he's like, what are you talking about? And I said, what are you targeting with Call the Haunted? And he's like, well, does it matter? I'm like, yeah, it matters. And then he's like, okay, I target tour guide, and I said DD Crow, and he scooped. It was funny. I've got 2 Prohibitions. You also side this against everything, but at the time these were 2 Gemini Imps because I was afraid of Dark Worlds, but I realized this is just as effective against Dark Worlds. There have been times when I've opened double of these in Game 2 and then just gone Grapha, MST, GG, bro. So it's just an amazing card, and I don't know why I ran Gemini Imps over that. And then 2 Imperial Iron Warls because I hate macro, and also Elemental Dragons are going to be a bitch, so Imperial Iron Wall works against them. 1 Light Imprisoning Mirror. This does work against Constellars. I wasn't really afraid of people running Agents or anything like that, or Lightsworns, but I do just have the 1, just in case. And then I have 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors for a lot of those rogue matches, like Insectors, Blackwings, what else? Chaos Dragons this works against too. And it's just a really good card. It's really solid. And then Gozen Match, which is just an amazing card. You side this in against Wind-Ups, but nobody plays Wind-Ups anymore. And you side against 6 Hams, you sided against Heroes, you sided against Plants. It's so